The scent of my scorched daughter's stuffed bear lingered on my judicial robes as Constance Whitmore strode into my chamber, like it was her personal domain. That identical, deranged grin. The same one she'd sported while dousing my late wife's flower beds with bleach. The one she'd shown off during her theft of $89,000 from folks nearby. The one she'd likely worn as she observed my residence, and all that remained of my loved ones, reduced to cinders. Yet this neighborhood bully committed a critical blunder. She never took the time to discover exactly whom she was ruining. I wasn't merely another lone father she could intimidate into compliance. I am U.S. District Judge Thaddeus Morrison, and she just set fire to the property of the sole individual in this region empowered by law to erase her very being. A year and a half of mental torment. One exquisite instant of payback. She figured torching my place would muzzle me. Rather, she simply supplied me with a flame to incinerate her whole illicit operation. How would you wield such authority? Drop your payback plan in the comments. But allow me to rewind and explain how a seasoned U.S. attorney wound up overseeing his local menace facing national charges. 2 years back, existence felt almost idyllic. I'm Thaddeus Morrison, Thad to Buddies, a 15-year veteran litigator who'd locked up figures from drug lords to crooked lawmakers. My 12-year-old girl Zara and I shared a simple bungalow in Willowbrook Heights, a spot where the worst offense was old Mrs. Lucy's feline-snatching headlines. Our place was nothing fancy. Weather-worn blue exterior, crisp borders that Sarah had stubbornly coated in white paint right before Zara arrived. But damn, it meant the world. The Dawn Brew still hit different from Sarah's Go-To Cup. Zara's giggles still rang out from the rope swing I'd rigged up on moving day. Even 3 years on from the disease that claimed my spouse, each groaning plank preserved echoes I couldn't bear to release. I played the block's quiet hero. Immaculate yard that left other fathers green. Assisted aging Mrs. Lucy with her market runs each Sunday. The fragile grip of her thankful palms always evoking my grandma's touch. Led Zara's youth baseball squad. The ping of metal bats on weekend dawns turned into my quiet ritual. Willowbrook Heights felt like heaven for folks our kind. Emerging households, seniors rooted since the 80s. Solo guardians striving for steady ground for their young. Street gatherings where grill fumes and chuckles hung till the wee hours. Shared plot where little ones discovered veggies sprouted from dirt, not shelves. The sort of haven where folks trimmed rivals' grass unasked and turned a blind eye to anonymous food drops for folks in a bind. Then evil settled right beside us. Constance Whitmore pulled up 18 months prior in a gleaming white SUV shouting wealth alert. High-end gear from head to toe, golden locks pricier than typical leases. And a gaze like a predator fish, vacant and icy, forever scheming its next feast. Her spouse toiled abroad, fossil fuel cash, perpetually away, which left Constance endless hours to wreck everyone else's peace. In under 3 days, she'd whipped up cards dubbing herself HOA enforcement lead, a role absent from our barely there community pact. Truth is, Willowbrook Heights had an HOA on paper, but it was a ghost. Born in '87, never truly formed. No sessions since the first Bush era. We preferred it loose. Coexist freely. Lend a hand as required. Stay out of others' lanes. But Constance sniffed profit like a scavenger on carrion. She began stalking the streets with a notepad. That bargain basement vanilla scent wafting like sludge. Snapping shots, sizing turf, grilling locals on home worth and visual codes. The sharp tap of her luxury shoes on pavement turned into our dirge of dread. Her opening strike, my postbox. An aged iron relic with hand-sketched digits Sarah had added in a baby prep frenzy. A decade and a half of Great Lake storms had lent it patina. Flecks of corrosion, faded hues, but sturdy like our wedding promises. It ranked among Sarah's final touches pre-Zara's debut. Constance branded it a breach of local norms and insisted on a swap in 48 hours or $50 per day penalties. As a top litigator, I detect scams from afar. A swift public filing check confirmed my hunch. Our HOA held no binding clout for rules. Even better, government workers enjoy safeguards from biased home policing via federal housing law. HOA badgering of officials isn't mere nuisance. It's a rights offense drawing heavy incarceration. I penned a courteous yet steely note detailing why Constance could stuff for bogus penalties somewhere her phony beam wouldn't shine. That note ought to have wrapped up. Instead, it ignited a conflict that would strip me of all I cherished and almost level the whole area. Since I'd erred gravely by assuming I faced a sane opponent, Constance's reply to my formal note landed precisely 72 hours on, and it caught me off guard. She refused to yield. She launched an assault. At dawn on a weekday, I roused to my irrigation setup blasting away. Odd, as I drained it for winter ages back. I shuffled out in my robe, mug fog curling in the chill dawn, bracing for a faulty pipe or teen mischief. Instead, there stood Constance in Sarah's tribute flower patch, wielding a mister, methodically slaughtering each shrub my departed wife had nurtured. "Good morning, Thad," she trilled, as if floral slaughter equaled routine errands. "Just tackling your bug issue." The harsh tang slammed me like a gut shot. Piercing, lab-grade sharpness. Then I spotted the mister's tag. Weed killer. The sort that fells ancient oaks, never mind Sarah's fragile vines. "What in God's name are you up to?" "Well, given you evidently can't uphold your lot to local codes, I'm fixing the wasp risk these blooms spawn." That predator grin widened. "We wouldn't want risky bugs endangering the young, right?" My fists began to shake, and not from a fall frost. Those blooms weren't mere greenery.
They were Sarah's spirit still thrumming in our soil. Vibrant crimson sprawlers she'd coaxed through savage winters, chatting to them like kin, clipping with her grand heirloom shears. The final week before the illness won, Sarah had squeezed my palm with her fading grip and extracted my oath to sustain them. "No wasp crisis exists," I forced out, jaw locked. "Oh, but it does. Mrs. Peterson's grandkid suffers dire reactions. A single prick might end her." Constance kept misting, each squirt replaying Sarah's fade. "I've logged 17 such episodes this month alone. Lodged an official alert with health officials. Total fabrication. Mrs. Peterson was 87, solitary, visitor-free for ages. But I grasped that facts held no sway over a power-mad deviant. Cease. You're invading and wrecking my land. Depart or cops arrive." Constance's cackle might have cracked crystal. "Oh, dear, you truly miss the point. I'm shielding our area from your sloppiness." She wrapped up the bloom execution, stowed her toxin gear, and sauntered to her barren yard like she'd just shared baked goods with an ailing pal. That evening, as Sarah's blooms withered and charred under the moon, I launched my initial tactical play in the 18-month clash with utter malice. I phoned out ill and devoted the full following day to rigging a full-spectrum alert setup. 6 lenses, trigger detectors, low-light capture, remote storage, total coverage. Decades battling offenders taught me beasts like Constance always ramp up. And from national dockets, I knew home monitoring statutes largely shield owners filming from their turf, particularly chronic offenses. The outlay proved wise in under 3 days. 2:47 a.m. My cell hummed with trigger pings. Constance appeared, clad in midnight garb like a backyard operative, slinking through my rear yard with bleach jugs and a sheaf of seeming official sheets. Low-light feed grabbed it all in sharp detail. Her dumping harsh bleach straight on root bases, then tucking sham HOA breach alerts beneath yard stones. The bogus sheets shone as gems of local deceit, sporting phony resident endorsements griping on risks and decline, plus invented session logs asserting the block had greenlit urgent yard policing. But Constance slipped fatally. She'd mimicked Mrs. Lucy's mark. Mrs. Lucy, whose gnarled fingers scarcely clasped a mug. Mrs. Lucy, who penned English only for her signature. Mrs. Lucy, who'd cautioned me for months our fresh arrival exuded foul vibes. I held a litigator's fantasy. Footage proof, witness ace, blatant unlawful aim. Intrusion, asset ruin, deceit, mimicry, a guaranteed win to halt her tyranny on the spot. So dawn broke, I stormed the precinct with my tidy proof binder and lodged charges with Detective Rick Bellows. That's when I uncovered how deeply Constance's rot had burrowed. "Listen, Mr. Morrison," Bellows drawled, nudging my sealed binder back like it harbored plague. "Mrs. Whitmore's a cornerstone here, church helper, event raiser, ever aiding folks. Certain you're not wrestling some post-loss haze?" Bile's tang surged in my throat. "Haze? Loss warps folks into spotting ghosts. Perhaps chat with a therapist over chasing innocence with wild plots." Then the grim fact hit. Constance hadn't merely hit my blooms. She'd already tainted the whole apparatus against me. 3 weeks post the flowerbed slaughter, Constance ramped to striking my kin head-on. My sibling Rebecca had motored 12 hours from Portland for Zara's big day, her debut trip since Sarah's service 3 years prior. Her battered Civic resembled a post-apocalypse survivor, but it chugged. And crucially, it let Zara soak up yarns of her mom's wild campus antics. Saturday Eve, we burned the midnight oil piecing Zara's gift cycle in the shed. Grease tang blending with Rebecca's floral scent as she spun tales, leaving Zara doubled over in mirth. Around 1 a.m., Rebecca slotted her Civic in my drive, standard for guests over 5 years. At 6:15 a.m., furious Knox yanked me alert, chased by Zara's panicked wail, "Dad, a monster rig's hauling Aunt Becca's ride." I lurched out shoeless, sleepwear askew, to spot a hulking wrecker already cranking Rebecca's Civic aboard. The operator, bulked like a gridiron pro with jail ink twisting his arms, hardly looked from his forms. "Hey, what the fuck do you reckon you're pulling? Ride breach, pal. No dusk visitor slots." He thrust a grimy chip my way. $9,350 for release. Green only. No paper. Visitor slot breach, per whom? Then Constance slithered from the wrecker's flank like a web weaver scenting quarry. Spotless in chic loungewear for the crack of dawn. Notepad gripped like a blade. "Morning, Thad. So sorry for the mix-up, but area codes demand upkeep." She unveiled a slick handout with showman's flair. "Fresh dusk visitor curbs kicked in Friday. Dropped alerts to all dutiful owners." I yanked the sheet, fury quaking my grip. Slick print, sham stamps, utter hooey rules stating any night-parked auto sans home tag gets yanked. The wildest twist, Rebecca's creaky Civic got tagged business rig over a tiny plateside ding. This is Rebecca's private wheels. Family stay. Trade level where signals work use. Constance lectured with the smug ease of a deviant schooling the dim. Plus, drawn-out visitor parks breed dangers and dent upright folks' home worths. The wrecker's roar built as it readied to nab my sister's soul ride. I clocked the firm mark, Bellows towing. Recognition's bite hit my tongue. Bellows, matching Detective Rick Bellows, the bent badge who'd brushed off my proof on this fiend. "This amounts to unlawful badgering," I spat. But Constance had melted back to her lair of nightmares, stranding me feudal in hero undies as they outright pilfered my clan's gear. That midday, as Rebecca blew $80 on cabs to reclaim her heap from some warehouse wasteland townside, I funneled 15 years of fraud-busting savvy into probing this graft web. The registrar's hub turned my command post. Open files unveiled the stark, sordid fact on our block's oversight clout. Willowbrook Heights got sketched in '87, but setup docs never cleared. For 35 years, we'd run on trust that clicked 'cause upright souls shun phantom sway. Then I hit the motherlode. Grievance logs from the county hall. 47 alerts in 18 months. All penned by Constance Whitmore. The scheme turned nauseatingly plain. She zeroed solely on lone guardians, seniors, and folks of color. Any seeming soft mark or non-fighter. Matching land rolls with trade permits unveiled the scheme's capstone. Bellows towing wasn't Detective Rick's. It was Ken Richards, a repeat crook with dual scam raps and yanked hall permit. The plot locked in like venom in my skull. Constance picks easy prey via sham oversight clout. Cop Ken Rick shelves gripes. Hall Ken Richard drives the outlaw yank game. A flawless trio of local shakedowns, likely raking thousands monthly in bogus cuts. But pre-unmasking this outlaw outfit, I required bulletproof proof to weather their surefire wrecking bids. That dusk, I caught Zara perched lotus-style on her room rug, delicately mending shards of a snapshot. Sarah guiding toddler Zara on her debut trike. The shot had ridden in Rebecca's dash. The brute holler flung it during his rough grab, she murmured, salt tracks carving her cheeks. It split in 6 bits, but I'll mend it if I go slow. Seeing my girl labor to restore that fractured glimpse of her mom, a glacial, hunter's edge iced my litigator's core. These leeches weren't solely swiping cash or needling locals. They were splintering my clan's final joys, one breach at a time. And I'd dismantle them for it. 2 weeks post Rebecca's ride snatch, Constance breached the barrier no decent soul touches. She struck at my child. Tuesday midday, I was in national court dismantling a scam schemer when my cell lit with crisis rings. 12 skips in half an hour, all from Zara's academy. Raw dread's tang choked me as I scanned mounting desperate messages. Mr. Morrison, Zara's in meltdown over intruders in your place. Mr. Morrison, she claims camera crews barged in. Mr. Morrison, she's gasping bad. Get here now. I ditched my wrap-up pitch and floored at 90 through bedroom burbs, palms jittering on the wheel. Every dad's horror reel blasting my skull. Intrusion, attack, snatch, the endless horrors beasts unleash on kids. I located Zara in the health room, ashen as a corpse, gripping her puffer while quaking head to toe. She'd taken Sarah's wheeze with her emerald stare, and fright could spark fits dumping us in ERs. Dad. She crumpled into me, pulse thumping my ribs. Evil guys in our home. Cameras, and they wouldn't budge. Head Watson appeared truly rattled. Zara popped home for midday meal and spotted 2 dudes inside. They said inspection duty, but when she sought badges, her tone faded. What then? They snapped she was no kid to quiz grown-ups. Then kept shooting pics as she pleaded quit. The fury surging my blood shifted this round. Not fiery blasts, but frosty plots. These hunters had scarred my kid in her haven, and payback would bleed. Anybody summon cops? Sure thing. Patrol said check was valid. Unnamed risk alerts needing instant probe. I ferried Zara back, her tiny digits vicing mine as she detailed each sanctuary breach. Duo with pro gear, pads, sham sway. They'd snapped it all. Her space, my work nook, even pill shelf innards. The pad reeked of old smokes and bargain cologne, fouled by outsiders pawing our secrets. But in their hubris, they dropped clues. A card-wedged couchback exposed the gem. Morrison Land Reviews LLC, filed that morn to avoid plot tag. The sworn checker was really Derek Whitmore, Constance's jobless kin, whose build know-how tallied 3 drunk drives and a dope bust. The gall stunned. She'd spawned a sham firm borrowing my tag to justify scaring my girl. That night, Zara dozed in my sheets too shell-shocked for solitude. I sought urgent bar order. 18 months logged badgering, wielding bogus sway to scar a minor, unlawful entry with deceit badges. Bench Patricia Hernandez, Sarah's old pal, approved it swift. Constance barred from nearing me, Zara, or our turf 6 months flat. Breach autocuff and national reps. I savored triumph 14 hours exact. Wednesday dawn, porch chatter yanked me alert. Peering out, Constance yacked lively with twin badges, mug steaming, like plotting grill-outs. Spotting my gaze, she beamed and faux-dabbed tears. Detective Rick Bellows glanced from his pad with a doomed retiree's glare. Mr. Morrison, trouble brews. Mrs. Whitmore claims you vowed her doom yesterday. Spelled out banishing her for keeps. The nerve vacuumed my lungs. Utter bull. I logged court all day, then Zara's spot. Scores of eyes. Constance's act merited awards. Shaky pause, timed sobs, cracks on cue. I get lost twists words ugly, Thad, but your pledge to inter me beyond divine reach? Self-shield time. Scan yesterday's bar I filed. On that, Bellows cut in with gallows zeal. Mrs. Whitmore countered with a bar alleging your tailing, snaps, church stocks, doom vows. Bench inked it 2 hours back. the law snare clamped flawless. Dual bars, each painting the foe as threat. A blame swap snarled to jam benches months while Constance kept wrecking souls. But here, her twisted smarts blew up grand. 'Cause bogus cop logs on a top litigator isn't local rot. It's national offense packing 20-year bids. And I demo the gap twixt Berg browbeat and national law. That night, Zara tossed restless by me, I dialed a game changer. Marcus, Thad Morrison here. Oh, you won. Marcus Webb, my alma mater bunkmate turned FBI finance sleuth ace. We'd bonded through spirits and saga swaps on sly crooks deeming themselves untouchable. Christ, Thad. Midnight call? Hope it's a corpse. Not quite, but soon. I sketched the mess and lawyer clip, 18 months ramping badgering, sham oversight, unlawful entry scarring my girl. Run full coin trace on Constance Whitmore. Her drive feels off. Money grab? Cash rules all, Marcus. Eternal truth. 48 hours on, Marcus rang with chills down spine intel. Your block beast's sinking in red, mate. Epic fiscal implosion. Figure sketched lavish folly and idiocy. Constance trailed $89,000 owed levies on a lease pad bought via cooked earnings proof. Hubby's abroad fuel gig tanked 8 months back. He pumped gas in Nevada, wiring scraps for house notes. The SUV teetered on repo's edge, 17 cards topped off, hubby blind. But the hook, she skimmed oversight dues from your block 18 months. $340,000 owed to group pot. My sleuth sense buzzed electric. No pot exists. Spot on. No real oversight. She swiped each cent, wielding fear to enforce pays. Prime shakedown with homie spin. The grim gem sharpened. Constance wasn't pure control fiend. Desperate outlaw leveraging sham sway to prop her crumbling flash. Each illicit levy, cooked breach, scare ploy aimed to lift from locals too spooked or muddled to resist. How many homes hit? 23 paid sham dues. Dozen more stung breach cuts. 50. Minus. 50 minus 500. Fiercest on color lines and lone razors, any rights blind or resource poor. I pictured Mrs. Lucy, who'd griped on unaffordable block tabs. Marcus, the jittery fresh paw who'd dodged Constance. How many homes quietly crushed to broke by this home hunter? More, Marcus added. National Post wraps easy. Postal hauls for sham dues demands. Wire scams on dig shifts. Prove race or home bias hits? Housing rights breaches. 20-year national bids. This ain't Berg hassle. Outlaw ring with Fed turf stamped bold. First in 18 months, icy hunter's thrill hit. Constance aired fatally, the doom of all crooks. Greed drove Fed offenses on a Fed sleuth target. But I craved unbreachable proof pre-strike. One slip, one form flub, she'd strut free as abused by litigator overreach. Need watches, coin trails, prey tails. Fed squad for this airtight? Damn straight. Weak to sync with Fed prosecutors. We'll crush so fierce she'll rebound. I clicked off, tasting what fled since Sarah's end. Hope. Not mere law, but glee of a hunter spotting flipped tables. The chase flipped, and I'd relish her ruin beat by beat. Dawn next, I cashed 15 years IOUs in Fed law. This transcended law now. Precision takedown of an outlaw web scarring a full block. Lead ring to FBI econ sleuth Rebecca Torres. Torres nailed home cons, loathed hunters on soft homes. My Constance rundown sparked instant, salty fire. Feds hit for home badgering, post scams, sham oversight. Hell, Thad, litigator nirvana. Squad by Thursday. Next, IRS crook hunt Sarah Lucy, no kin to my lost, but tax chasers equal fury. She near purred at Constance's off-book skim from sham tabs. $89,000 unreported plus levy dodge on lease pad. Felony bids with floors. Digit crunchers on her books by Monday. Keyring to justice rights wing Maria Santos. Maria owned home bias suits. My target pattern rundown, color, lone razors, feds, froze her tone glacial. Housing law breaches with bias pattern. My wheelhouse. Proof traits-based hits, hate boosts. 25 life, no out. As Fed gears spun, I hit core, rallying scarred locals to witness roles. That Saturday PM, I rapped Mrs. Lucy's door with fresh-baked sweets and a pitch to rescue our block or court Dumas collective. Mrs. Lucy, on those block tabs to Constance? Her lined mug creased instant fret. No strife, Mr. Morrison. She vowed IC on my boy's kin, Tommy, sans pay. The scum menaced a war vet whose sole sin was Korean roots. I clocked an hour unpacking her extortion prey status, tabs pure illegal, Tommy's service outranking Constance's crook hide. By Sunday dusk, I'd soft-tapped 17 homes, logging abuse threads that lit my sleuth core with spite glee. Fresh clans forking sham tabs to dodge cooked breaches. Aged handing nest eggs to fend mock suits. Solo moms doubling gigs for Constance's ghost cuts. Marcus Rodriguez, the skittish paw-eyed shunning Constance, cracked sobbing at his rights rundown. She menaced CPS dump 4 unsafe pad sans pool upkeep pay. Wife and I slurped noodles months for her tabs. No pool ever graced our turf. Each yarn bulked the doom binder to entune Constance beyond dig range. But logs fell short. Craved live crime catches. Enter state cop graft sleuth Luis Mendoza. Mendoza owned bent badge webs. My bellows gnawed laser locked him. Berg cop shelving legit gripes for bros biz ally. We've tailed bellows months. This sparks tap warrants, watches. In 72 hours, Mendoza nabbed bench nods for lines on Bellows Duo and Constance. Stealth cams dotted the block, grabbing each clash, menace, crook tick. The gem hit when coin sleuths unearthed Constance's ace, sham manage outfit Willowbrook Group Aid. 18 months pro bills for ghost gigs, pool care, yard work, guard rounds, block bashes unrealized. Bill slick to fool slammed owners presuming others ran hood affairs. But greed's bite damned deepest. Texts twixt Constance and Derek spilled her blueprint. Hit lone razors and elders prime. Too timid or thick to push. Train block to fork, then all. Digit digs also nabbed her kin probe. Hours web scouring Sarah's end, Zara's health woes, my bench clock, stockpiling psyche ammo for Max Scar. One eye search, render fed sleuth unstable, kid grab hearing. No random badger. Precision mind war to tank my gig and nab my girl. By Friday dawn, we'd forged a binder to scar defense hacks. National Post/wire scams, levy dodge, rights breaches, mobbery, plot, crook scare. 23 praise set to swear. Half-year line grabs, coin proofs of mass lift. Snare primed with 18 months Constance's crook gall. Now, await her step-in point 3 weeks into Fed probe, Constance likely felt the squeeze tightening, so her badgering surged to peril dwarfing sham cuts and outlaw yanks. It kicked with the entry that wasn't. Thursday Eve post-bench, I pulled home to my entry cracked, stale tobacco haze seeping out. Every sleuth nerve screamed trap as I tugged Zara rearward and summoned aid pre-crossing. The pad screamed storm-ravaged. Pulls spilled, sheets flung, seats flipped. But no thief hit. Valuables untouched. Instead, a hunt for targeted loot, capped by a tag freezing my veins. Kitchen counter bore a sealed pack tagged bench rot proof, stuffed with mock docs rivaling Fed fakes. Phony ledgers flashing odd inflows. Tweaked mails hinting prior case payoffs. Prograde shots of me with Marcus Webb, tags claiming him a crook tipster buying breaks. Crown, sham missive on Fed Hall stock, from me to Constance, packed with career-killing, cell-bound threats. The fake past eye tests, stock, ink, secure sheet. But Constance flubbed twice fatal. 1. Date pinned to DC Congress stand, C-SPAN/hotel stamped. 2. Terms no Fed sleuth pens, court lingo outing total proc ignorance. Crucial, Fed watches nabbed Derek's pad breach as Constance steered from her ride, puffing, Bluetooth guiding. Stash pack kitchen counter for sure spot. Voice hissed Fed gear. Smear prints all. Looks like his cover try. The twist gleamed. Mid-Fed intrusion to pin me for uncrimes, forging proof of her real ones. But the pin bid was warm-up for the main. Friday dawn, town feeds aired a gut plunge piece. Fed bench-eyed for rot. Leaked mock proof to Station 7, with neighbors anon quotes on my wild acts, shady moves. Tailhone to trash rep sans risk claims. Heavy claimed and probe shields for max scar minus libel hooks. Hours later, lines blared from bench watchdogs, Fed bosses, faux barristers from my dockets. All scenting gore. Yarns cooked cred sparked probes years long, post-proof. Worst ring from Zara's spot. Mr. Morrison, head Watson. Got troubling home buzz. Kid aid will welfare scam PM. Constance's endgame locked with vile snap. Pin me rot. Spark kid aid dig. Leverage my crook tag to yank Zara custody. Anon tip likely spun dope, rage, slack, max scar lies. Kid aid sleuth Janet Mills hit my stoop seeming planet weary. 20-year vet with soft gaze, tragedy scene. She clocked a plant instant. Mr. Morrison must chase kid risk flags. But off record, this wine screams spite badger. Anon claimed dope haze, loose arms, peril pals near girl. She clocked 30 ticking boxes, fridge peak, Zara room, soft queries nailing her hunch. Pad spotless, Zara thriving, probe pure grudge to wound solid dad. Tipster craved peak family shake, Mills noted wrapping forms. I'm shelving unfounded, but heads up, they'll retry. False kid aid tips ramp till win. That night, Zara out despite turmoil, I hunched in work nook eyeing Fed shots of Constance plotting my fall. Frames caught her sinking derrick, unknown aids, rings our taps later unpacked as Phase 3 plots. Phase 3, per nabbed chats, lasting fixes for block woes. I rang Torres stat. Rebecca, bump the clock. She's veering violent. Why so? 'Cause broke crooks with zilch lose don't fold. Torch all, flee blaze. Timeline guess? I re-eyed shots, probing Constance's mug steering Derek's felonies. Grin of a line crosser prepping the ender. Too damn short. The blaze struck Tuesday PM when despair shoved Constance over reason's brink. Mid-Fed bench Medicare scam pitch, my self-swarmed crisis buzzes. Lead text caved my realm. Blaze at 847 Maple. Cruise en route. My pad, hearth, all Sarah and I forged. I bailed mid-grill, squad flailing as I shredded road rules to Willowbrook. Burn tank struck 3 blocks off. That chemreek screaming poured fuel for total wipe. Rigs jammed our hushed lane, crimson strobes hellglow while locals bunched stunned. But the heartstopper, Zara on Mrs. Lucy's turf, salt carving her smoke-smeared cheeks as 18 years echoes charred. Dad. She bolted to me, frame shuddering. Schooled home, haze everywhere. Mrs. Lucy stashed me, dialed 911. Blaze Chief Davidson blocked tape, Mugdower dropping owner doom. Basement spark, raced ground level. Held upper, but, no need end. Pad hollowed. Spark hunch? Davidson's vet stare knew no fluke blazes. Fuel trails yell torch job. Fed booze crew inbound for your Fed tie. This tags home terror pre-proof. Next 6 hours smeared in probe haze, claim filers, dawning we'd lost core. Zara baby shots, Sarah gems, her month sanded painted stands. Even revived Bloom tribute, scorched dirt, warped iron. But Constance's end flub loomed. Fed Blaze sleuth Monica Rodriguez rolled with CSI tier crew, treating our hearth crime turf. 2 hours, pro-fuel drops, clock gadgets, killer gem, Mrs. Lucy Bell feed nabbing Derek's 1:47 p.m. entry, odd sack in tow. Your kin's cousin ain't our dimmest crook, Rodriguez unpacked on boosted clip. Fingered fuel cans, shed license basement, swiped his card for clocks at depot yesterday. By 8 p.m., Derek Fed cuffed, dumping Alta Dodge terror bids. His spill tape? Laugh riot if not scripting my clan's gut. Constance swore bench fake probed her doom. Derek sniveled to feds. Torch's pad, 2 slammed with claims to hound. Plus, $10,000 pledge from Blockskim. But killer proof, Constance's line, tapped weeks. Her Derek chat fire prosecutors crookful nirvana. Douse heavy to nuke all, her crackle fed cleared. Hit basement prime, then galley with his law stacks. Crave 18 months anti-me ash. Hurt risk? School kids, bench bound. Pad empty. Hurt anyway? Their fault meddling. The breezy murder chat stunned in deviant math. Constance didn't just torch. Did so lifelblind, hiking raps to fed terror try-murder. Torres hit as Derek van loaded, spill sealed. Proof for life bids both, she assured amid ruin logs. Son, plot, terror on Fed worker. Fed chief calls simplest slam in 20 years. Sweetest tick, 11:30 p.m., Fed convoy ringed Constance's lair, arsenal for mini invade. Via Mrs. Lucy Payne, we-eyed tack crew cuffing the 18-month hellbringer. She rocked luxe sleepwear, flawless face, when yanked chained. That smug leer swapped for prey dread of victims outgunning dreams. Last view pre-Fed van stuff, me on Mrs. Lucy Green, Zara hugged, eyeing law's badge warrant arrival. Her fear reign done, Fed suit just dawn. 6 months on, the dream payoff since spotting Constance talks Sarah's Bloom's hit. USV, Constance and Derek Whitmore, Fed Hall, press frenzy. I'd step aside, natural, but guest bench Patricia Hernandez held none. Hernandez legend, 20 Fed years, nil mercy for family hunters, special bile for home bias echoing her split Texas youth. Hall step swarm tri-state cams. HOA tyrant blaze suit, national hook, suburb despot versus Fed law icon. Locals quizzed Constance scarred neighbors, nets probed HOA plague nationwide. In, pews packed. Mrs. Lucy front, finest frock, grin grid bright. Marcus Rodriguez clutched wife's hand, duo freed from cash terror near wrecking their fresh clan. 23 shattered by greed souls, primed for Fed sharp served justice. But hell's payoff peak, guards marched Constance in, blaze suit, irons, locks greasy, face bare, luck swapped for Fed lockup garb. The haughty block empress down to number 47891, shift pure poetry. She swept pews frantic for ally mugs amid her scar tally. Found soul praise primed for score, plus scribe packs logging her crash. Eyes hit me, gallery row 2, her mud blanched hallstone. 18 months, I was breakable trash. Now faced the Fed sleuth who'd rigged her fall, truth piercing her twisted haze. Fed sleuth Amanda Walsh forged a binder for law lore eternals. Proof roll spanned 3 days, masterclass crook folly. Line grabs of Constance crime plots. Derek blaze clips. Coin trails mass 23 home lift. Ace yarns on mind terror, home bias. But Constance's last poise shatter, Walsh aired arson day tap. Douse heavy to nuke all. Her ghost voice hushed hall. Crave 18 months anti-me ash. Hurt risk? Hurt anyway? Their fault meddling. Murder chat boom rang like doomwrit. Jurors flinched. Pew gasps. Even her fat fee defense looked table dive keen. Tape end, Hernandez blade sliced quiet. Mrs. Whitmore, you schemed a home blaze kid blind. Words on that? Her mouthpiece hissed frantic, likely mute plea. But 18 months gall nuked restraint. She rose, irons jangle, spitting Fed lore's dumbest self-nuke. Your Honor, I guarded our block from a rule dodger. Mr. Morrison deemed Fed tag elite, rules free. Needed schooling none tops reckoning. Hall blue. Sucks, murmurs, scribe scratches nabbing each doom word. She'd owned blaze, terror, Fed tag hate, national bias turf, floor bids stamped. Hernandez barked calm, eyes hunterized for slice justice. Mrs. Whitmore, you owned Fed terror sans kid kill regret. Scarred full block, swiped thousands from toilers, peaked in blaze near murdering innocents. Doom clocked 3 ticks. Constance Whitmore, 15 Fed years, no out. Derek Whitmore, 8 nets 8 with watch. Full payback to praise, $473,000 skim, wreck, pain cuts. Pews roared cheer. Mrs. Lucy dabbed tears. Marcus smooched wife. 23 terror-housed souls I'd cry match fall out. But peak sweet as guards prepped Constance fed hall, she craned pew hunt for pity nil. Found me, Zara, eyeing fed doom with law's lone bomb. Her block rolled crushed. Fed cell Dawn. 2 years on, Dawn brew weaves bloom whiffs as I'd perch rebuilt galley, eyeing Zara wheel drill in the drive this hell birthed. Fresh pad phoenixed from constant cinders, steel-forged grit. Claim cash, fed pray aid, neighbor gifts birthed tougher lost core. Zara's nook views bloom tribute, Sarah vines now kinsparked from each constant scarred clan. Mrs. Lucy Dauntens, lined paws feeding grace where malice sowed scare. Zara's bat snap rings yard, varsity prep ping of a teen-schooled prey flips Victor sans yield. But kin mend kicked off wider shift. Willowbrook bloomed unmatched, hood guarding dwellers true. Legit oversight, Constance doom 6 months on, bylaws con law penned, clear to bar rot. Homeworths jumped 40% as fresh clans chased Winback Haven. $473,000 skim hall sparked wonders. Sunlit lanes for Eve stroll safe. Top playground swapping Constance menace MEM for kid glee. Block classes where Mrs. Lucy shows soil sprouts o'er store racks. Key, funds birthed Willowbrook Justice Pot, aiding 87 national clans flee HOA hells. Marcus Rodriguez, once Constance fear ghost, steers our law teach out, drilling life cash savers, probe oversight set up Docks County Way, no stamp? Sham sway, blow off all asks. Our suits law mark flipped home shields countrywide. Constance code, yearly coin probes all oversights, crook scans for sway claimants. Fed rules, FBI digs on Fed home hits. Our yarn law lore gold for suburb terror suits. Constance warns eternal, axe bite back. Year 3 of 15, Fed lockup Danbury, laundry grind 23 cents hour as praise boom in her scar block. Buzz says Fed bars schooled her elite heirs flop gainst lag toughs loathing kid hunter scum. Derek Scrubs Oregon sinks, monthly payback to 2045. Detective Rick Bellows pension gone, too free for graft. Kin Richards yank realm seized, sold legit, rigs now aid need, not pray bind. But prime win last moon at third block fest. Zara, 16, Sarah Fierce, named aid picks to 600, feds, scribes, battlehood guests. These nods hail young whose razors shunned yield to thugs, she boomed o'er fear chose brave mugs. 'Cause top payback gainst ruin try is grace build on their ash. Fest hauled $18,000 next pot. True gem, scarred flipping fierce guard for soft locals. Mrs. Lucy's boy Tommy, Marine vet Constance deportation menaced, helms watch with troop sharp, endless calm. In garden as dusk gilded blooms, Sarah's hush wove each petal, chuckle, peace tick malice craved but couldn't crush. We didn't endure Constance Whitmore's fear rule. We alchemized to grace. Your fight turn. Spill your HOA hell yarn comments down. Solo no more. United, unmask these block beasts. Tap sub for HOA yarns more where law claims, hoods mend. 'Cause upright souls win true sans yield. Your block war sparks one bold clan standing. Ensure that's yours. Thanks for the clock on HOA yarns, where HOA tyrants face breaks. Loved today's clash? Smash like, note fave beat below, sub miss none for next hood rumble.